TV. This is the place for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. Today is Monday. We got coffee, tea, thoughts, conversations, and I am here with my co-host, Silviana. Terralina, she may be jumping in and out. She's on location. So we're going to get this party started. And today we are talking all about the routines. And I want to say welcome to those who are watching live, those who are also on the replay. So here's the thing. We have routines, people. And my thought process with that today, because I'll be coming up with some wild ideas, but the success of any business lies in its daily routine. So I wanted to put that out there. And then when you were working for someone else, you fit yourself into that established system or routine. You knew when to come in. I got to be at work at whatever time, and you fit right in. However, now that you're working for yourself, it might be a little fun to understand that you're going to have to establish your own routine and work within that. So, Silviana, what do you think?
Yeah, so absolutely. I've always been told that having a routine is how you build habits. Period, point blank. For me, as someone who just graduated from college, has just entered into the corporate world for the first time, and is now continuing my journey as an entrepreneur, you need a routine for all three of those facets. Okay. Now, most of the time, as I like to say, success leaves clues, right? A lot of these multimillionaire, those one percenters, they're getting up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And I had, when I attended Hampton University, I minored in leadership studies. And so my professor would give us what he called Jarvisms. And so his number one Jarvism, his name was Professor Jarvis, but his number one Jarvism was the early bird gets the worm. I've been trained since I was little to be the first one in the room, the first being within the first row, raising your hand, asking questions, right? Because those people who show up and show up prepared are the ones who are usually successful. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
for me, if I didn't have a routine, Mrs. Francine, I probably would not be nowhere nearly as productive as I am. So I think it's more to help us get through the day to day, right, than anything
Right.
else.
So this is this is this conversation is for the solopreneur, the small business owner, the micro business owner, because you might be even smaller than a small business owner at this point. But and we're talking about this because sometimes um, the routine we had is no longer fitting for what we need to do now. So uh, there's the morning routine, getting up early, like you were saying, starting the day with plenty of time. And I call that morning routine my non-negotiable. I I am not talking to people from the time I get up, which is about 4 or 5 till 10. I'm not talking to other people. I'm doing my set routine, because if I start introducing other people into the mix, now I'm kind of trying to help them and doing some other stuff, but I need to have my own routine established, whereas my non-negotiable time with myself, the promise that I'm keeping to myself: get up early. um, one of my things is water first.
Mm.
I like coffee, or the flavor of coffee and tea and all that, but water first. And that's part of my routine. Get that water first, then get my workout in. I got to do my workout before work, because if I start to work, the workout is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then my last little thing was then when I go to work. You know what I mean? Just uh, Oh, before that, some nourishment, like fresh fruits or something, just to
Uh,
get the thing started. So,
You are picking on me today, Miss Francine, because when I tell you, I don't always do all four of those things. I would like to. It's a perfect morning if I can wake up early, have a mindful and relaxed morning, exercise, and have a healthy breakfast. Typically, if I don't, it's because I woke up too late or I didn't prepare, for my day the day before. It's typically I've skipped a step, right? And what
Right.
I like to say is, when you're in flow, right? You know when
Yeah.
things are functioning smoothly, you're relaxed, you have time to think, question if you took everything before you walk out the door, right? Any other time that you're moving too quickly and you don't give yourself enough time to think, relax, any of that, you're only doing yourself a disservice, right?
Right.
You're increasing the amount of mistakes that you're going to make. You're probably increasing your stress levels tremendously, and you're probably not showing up in the best way that you know how to show up because you're combobulated, right? You're all over the place.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
these things not only are helping you be productive, but it's helping you show up a certain way as well.
Right. And Mark has a comment here. He says it's also important to have your whys. We can become robotic. Know why you are doing what you're doing. Goals are more than just your tasks. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And these things that we're talking about here for um, our routine or our systems, this is our daily system because, again, your success is in your daily routine.
Absolutely.
And so, what am I doing today? Did I, and why am I getting up early? Why am I having a mindful moment before I dive into the day? Why am I exercising? Oh, okay. Because this is going to keep me going for the long haul.
Mhm.
Having something to eat. And then after I've done my non-negotiable time where I'm not talking to anybody, sorry y'all, I just don't like talking to people first thing in the morning. I have non-negotiable. Then I start working on the day. And for me, this whole conversation came up because I needed to talk to do something you said, which was to recalibrate, figure out what's working, figure out what's not working. And so for my mid-morning part of the routine, what is working for me? I think the priority planning for me needs to happen before yesterday. It needed
Yes.
to happen last night, not or at the end of my day yesterday, not what am I going to do today? I should have known that yesterday.
Agreed. Yes, I start the day with a to-do list. Call me what you want, but it works, okay? And typically what I'll do is as I'm closing out my thoughts, doing my prayer, I may even do start and close my day with meditation. I'm going through and saying, "Okay, what has yet to be completed that may need to be moved over to tomorrow's task, right?" Or what is there something that maybe needs to be added to my to-do list? Is there any personal care items that maybe I've been pushing off that needs to be taken care of tomorrow? Do I need to schedule an appointment to the doctor's, right? All these things, that afternoon recap gives me a moment to say, okay, what is our priorities for tomorrow? And so I typically will create a list of about 5 items. You could create a list of 20 items depending on who you are. For me, I keep it to 5 just so I know those are my top 5 non-negotiables. They have to happen. Because what I tend to do is if I have 20 items, I'm just checking off the easiest tasks that I want to do, right? And then
Mhm.
typically I'm left with the harder tasks that require more time, energy, or attention. And then I'm just continuing to roll them over. Where I've been told to start your day with your hardest task, the tasks that require the most thought, critical thinking, time, effort, right? Just so that, again, you're the most charged in the morning. So make it
Right,
make
right,
sense.
right, right. And some of you are night owls, and we get it. So you have to work your schedule the way you need to for your industry or for the type of work you do, but you still need to make time for productivity, meaning that you have to have uh, you time, not just work time, but you. How are you going to disengage, rest, to recharge? I was thinking about that. I might need to write an article about this. But we plug the phone in every night to charge it up.
Yep.
We lay it down so it can charge up. And because we're not going to be able to use it in the morning if it has been depleted. But what do we do about us? Are we recharging?
Exactly.
Or
What
are we
source are you
depleting?
What source are you connecting to? Are you speaking to the higher power every morning? Are you in a on coffee morning chats like this to get you amped up, right? That was a big thing for me. I've met with so many different people who are like, "Okay, I can't find time to exercise." So let's be honest, folks. And Miss Francine, we might have not have said this yet, but anything that we're mentioning today, morning, mid-morning, afternoon, routine in general, these are not things that always feel good. Like I said at the beginning, not every day of the week am I saying, okay, 5 out of 5, we did everything we were supposed to do. But if you are having more unproductive days than productive days within your week, then there's something that needs to happen. You need to create a better routine that fits you. Now, to my point of it doesn't always feel good, if your goal, to Mark's point, is to create the goal of exercising, losing weight, or potentially gaining weight, then you may just need to wake up at 6, get your feet on the ground, and get moving. I have a friend who says that he doesn't even brush his teeth. He's like, I'm getting my foot. Now he has a private gym. So, okay, he's not in public, but he's getting his feet on the ground and he's getting moving, right? I have a girlfriend. She wants to drink more water. She has a water bottle, a gallon water bottle that she keeps on the side of her bed. Why? Because she goes to sleep drinking water and she wakes up leaving water, right? I used to tell myself, you almost have to pre-parent yourself. How are you making it easier for you to show up?
See, and I read this in Atomic Habits. It's a good book if you haven't read it. He talked about creating the things, not so much focusing in on the goal, the end goal, but focusing in on the little parts of the stages that you need for the goal,
Yes.
right? And if I would drink water every time I get up and do my workout, I'm going to have the health that I'm looking for. Let me do these, be good with this little routine, put together the routine that's going to give me the success that I'm looking for. And the success is the little tiny steps that get you to that big thing that that's eventually your lifestyle,
Yes.
because you're doing these little things.
Yes. And that was a good one. I don't know about you guys, but I've been told if you are thirsty, like if you feel like you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So
Right?
you need to constantly be, take a sip of your tea, coffee, or water, folks, if you own the chat. Okay, hold on.
And my water is somewhere over here.
We got to get hydrated. But yes, Miss Francine, that's such a great point because I'm going to be honest, I'm a doer. Not always do I show up like I said. I'm not always perfect, but for the most part, I'm a doer. I'm ambitious. I stay goal oriented. I'm task oriented. And not everyone's like that naturally, right? Some people
Right.
are a little lackadaisical. Some people know they're a little bit more of a procrastinator. But let's be very clear, folks. If you have a goal in mind for your business, your life, no matter what it is, right? Losing weight, earning more money, it doesn't matter what it is, that is not going to, you're not going to make that happen, that goal happen overnight. You have to make the conscious decision within your mind, heart, and body to say, okay, we're willing to do whatever it takes to make this happen, to make this goal happen, right? So if it's waking up and exercising, even though you're exhausted, right? If it's going to bed earlier, to make sure that you're waking up earlier, right?
Right.
What
Right.
sacrifices, how can we be more disciplined, and maybe what do we need to sacrifice to make our goals happen? Not
Right.
everyone can have that conversation.
Right. And sometimes you're going to have to stop doing stuff for other people, and because they're getting their list checked off because they're giving it to you. Okay, so we're talking about that and reviewing and adjusting. Where do you need to review? Like Silviana was saying, okay, something is not off because I'm not completing this task, or I'm not getting the help that I need, or I'm not getting up early enough, or I'm going to bed too late. Or I'm taking on too much stuff. I got so much stuff on my plate, I can't see. Oh, that reminded me of a story when we went to some place where it's all you can eat, and the plate was. I was like, that don't mean you need to eat it all at right now. You just put a little something on your plate and then
Yes.
come back for more. But no, it was not cute.
Whew.
And sometimes we got too much on our plate.
I was just gonna say that. I feel like we look at ourselves, we say, oh, I didn't do enough. It's the difference between unproductive and overly over your capacity, right? Now, if you're saying, okay, my top priorities, my focused items for today is not being completed, okay, then at some point we probably were not utilizing our time. We weren't productive, meaning do we need to sit down and maybe have 30-minute inklings of time that we're just focused, right? With that
Right,
6-minute break that we discussed last week.
right,
Or perhaps were we on the phone too much? I know I've done that sometimes. I'm supposed to be, pre-prepping my task for the day, but I'm on the phone with my girlfriend trying to get the recap of what happened to her yesterday. It may look differently when people are having you distracted, and it may not be intentional, but you know what you need to do. You know what keeps you on track. You know what your routine is, right? So, yes, guys, some people may say, okay, I wasn't productive, but it's a difference between being unproductive and saying, okay, I think I have just too much on my plate. Even if I had 12 hours, let's just say the full 24, didn't have to sleep, I don't know if I would still get these things done. That means we're over capacity, right? That means we may need to delegate. We may need to check in with our supervisor, boss, or team or self, but we may need to make some adjustments, okay? It's not okay being over capacity. Those signs are extremely stressed, irritable. If someone was to ask you right now to do anything extra, you would probably cry or break down. That's how you know you're over capacity. You can't think, you can't function, you don't have enough time to check in with yourself. Those are all signs that we may need to remove some things off of our plate, get used to using the word no. Remember, no is a sentence, a full sentence, and protecting our boundaries.
right. Mark has a couple of comments here. He says, with my clients, we also focus on who are you today? What is the adjective that best describes who you want to be today and how success is defined in that regard?
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Yes. What do you want? I mean, it doesn't have to be five things. It's five things for me. But to Mark's point, it may just be, what is today's focus? What is our goal? What is our goal and how can we get it accomplished? Right? What are the steps? Those might be the five things, right? It just depends on how large the goal is and how well we need to, separate or break it down to make it happen.
Mark further says, who we are affects the way we do what we do. So,
Absolutely.
but if you haven't been sleeping well, are you going to be the grumpy bear that shows up? Because, whatever has happened during the day is going to affect who you are today. Are
Yeah.
you the powerful, capable business entrepreneur? Or is that, I'm focused, I'm precise, I'm well organized? We can be that person too. We get to decide that, but sometimes those choices and those decisions are affected because we didn't do something that we should have done. We shouldn't have went out with the girls or the guys. Should have stayed in or went to bed early.
Yes. How well do you do reflecting on or really identifying where you are as a person? And I've had to learn that even as a young adult. Like, okay, am I tired? Okay, maybe I need to go get some food. Like, literally reparenting yourself. I know most of us probably remember as a child when our mother would say, okay, how you getting grumpy? Did you eat? Did you drink some water? Did you need to get to sleep? You have to almost do that to yourself. Like, am I okay? All right. I think I might need to get some more rest tonight. Right. But to your point, Mark and Miss Francine, how you do one thing is how we do all things. Okay. If your routine is jacked up, it's going to show up in multiple areas of your life and your business, folks.
Mark also said, hey, Dr. Tachi, good morning. We got Prodigy TV in the house and Logic Pro 2. Mark says, who we are is a choice, not a condition.
It is a choice.
We chose to be mean and grumpy when we did not eat or had a little bit of orange juice or something to stabilize your sugar or something. Eat something. And one of the things we talk about a lot is that when you eat a little something, because our body is full of chemicals and stuff, and not eating is not cool.
No. You
And
need the energy.
right. And not eating well is also not cool because it affects your mood and it affects how things work. And then you, in turn, affect someone else because, uh, like Zig Ziglar used to talk about kicking the cat. Somebody kicked the cat and the cat did something else and it trickled all the way around back to the neighborhood, and everybody's day was off because one person kicked the cat, and
Ugh,
like, or the
that's
cat got kicked because somebody else's day was off, and the cat is
no.
like, what did I do?
No, I totally get it. Yeah, if I don't get that morning or that mid morning to afternoon routine down, if I'm not waking up early, eating, exercising, doing my priority planning, trying to figure out my critical tasks for the days, making sure that I'm scheduling my meetings intentionally. What I mean by that is, folks, if it can be emailed, let's email it. If it can be text or voice memo, go ahead, voice memo. Okay. Now, for me, I'm a great communicator. So I'm someone who's going to say, okay, this is clear, respond back. I scheduled this, I got it. For those who you feel may need a little bit more one on one, sure, schedule the meeting, but schedule the meeting for the time allotted. 15, is it a 15-minute convo? Is it 30 minutes? Does it always have to be 45 minutes to an hour meeting, folks? Right? I think we've all been on calls where we've said, yeah, this didn't need, this could have been emailed, you know? So again, making sure that we're scheduling our meetings and calls and collaborations during the time that we have in the morning to make sure that we all have the time in the afternoon to do what's necessary then. Also, lunch break, Miss Francine. I don't know about you, but I will get into my work and it's like breakfast and then possibly a dinner. But lunch gets a little away from me. So I've been trying to meal prep, again, a routine. I try to meal prep on Sundays so that I'm good throughout the week for at least the first few days of the week. But it's important to take a break to have a healthy lunch and recharge during the day.
Right. And the taking a cat nap is good. People used to talk about power naps before. I'm talking about 10 minutes, put your head down. It works in kindergarten. Okay, heads down, children. It works. Put your head down, take a 10-minute step away from whatever it is that you're doing, and just kind of like, okay, and come back up for air. You just because it's lunchtime don't mean you need to eat a whole big thing. It just means you need to stop and eat and stop, recharge. You know what I mean? Again, talking about the charge, some phones don't hold a charge all day. You need to plug it in to make it so that it gets through the rest of the day, and we may need to recharge throughout the day.
Absolutely.
Then we talked about, okay, so we talked about eating well and doing that, and part of the routine for your business should be some networking.
Yes,
Talking to
absolutely.
other people.
That should be absolutely a part of your routine. And again, if we don't have time to do things like networking or learning outside of what we're doing during the day, then that shows that our routine is not up to par, right?
Right,
Networking is so imperative to business owners, to entrepreneurs, really to any individuals, right? Now,
right,
networking is important because you have the ability to build confidence, right? You're interacting with others, you're getting better at your communication skills. You're also building great relationships, and like we've always heard, it's not always what you know, but it could be who you know, right? Sometimes it's not always what you know that gets you through the door. It might be a pen pal or another relationship that you were able to create or foster that helped you be the best one or help you be in position to get an opportunity. It allows you to gain a different perspective. So I love networking with folks because I'm always learning. I'm always learning something new. I mean, we're one person, right? There's millions of people in this world that are doing different things with their time. Their routines are different. So I
right,
may have someone that at 7 o'clock they're on the stock charts. I don't know much about stock. You may have a different perspective than me, maybe reading Atomic Habits in the morning, right? We may be able to teach each other different things based on our different perspectives. Also, networking allows for you to grow your personal brand. The best way to get out there to get more people in front of either your brand, or just to, shake more hands or get whatever you need out there, such as maybe getting a job, or maybe getting grant funding for your business, or maybe just getting more clientele. The best way to do that is networking, getting in front of more people. As I was just talking to someone the other day at a consultation, I was telling her, she's like, oh, I'm applying to about 15 jobs a day, but I really want a job. I said, your job is to apply for jobs right now. You should be applying to about 150 jobs. The more jobs you apply for, the more likely you are to get a job sooner, right? Same thing with networking. The more people you get in front of, the more likely you are to find a community of people that you need to help you take yourself to the next level. So yes, networking is amazing. You get access to opportunities, ideas, career advice, support. I mean, I love networking.
So another word for networking is building relationships. So you're building relationships outside the confines of your little bubble. And it just dawned on me, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all the rest of them is a place to nurture and build relationships. It's not necessarily, oh, I'm going to see what cat video is out there today. It is about nurturing relationship,
Yes.
looking at and following someone who's doing things in their business. Oh, I'd like to connect with them or collaborate with them because of something I've seen on their profile, or which leads to making sure your profile is up to par, which we will talk about on another segment. But
Yes, because I've been having a hard time finding folks. If you are a business owner and do not have your email anywhere on the World Wide Web, we have a problem. We have a problem, but we'll talk about that in the coming weeks. But
right,
yeah, Miss
because
Francine, networking is imperative.
the networking is going to increase your net worth. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So but if we're too busy because we well, that part of the routine, I can't put that in the routine. I don't have time to do that. That's not a good look.
Nope. I was as a corporate professional, I created a networking challenge for African Americans within my corporate profession. And what I kept hearing all the time was, I don't have time, or I don't know who to connect with, or I don't. And it's like, well, you don't have time to talk to another individual. This is a 5 to 10 minute exchange. Depending on how well you've prepared, I know I can make a great connection in 5 minutes. I know my pitch is prepared. I know my confidence level is where it's at, and I'm a comfortable speaking to individuals because I've practiced. I've practiced in the mirror. I've practiced at other events.
Did you say
Yes,
practice?
yes, you have to practice.
Practice talking to people.
Absolutely. You have to practice talking to people. And I am someone who is pretty extroverted, but I do have introverted ways. But yes, you have to practice the dialogue, the handshaking, the smile, having maybe conversations at top of mind, maybe already having pre-planned questions to ask the other individual. Folks love talking about themselves, and that's the best way to really organically get to know someone. So absolutely. But to your point, Miss Francine, people will make the excuse because of the lack of time. But why do we have lack of time? Did we wake up late? Did we not prepare the night before? There's something within our routine that is off. If
Right.
we don't have time to do what we need to do, then there's something in our routine that needs to be adjusted.
Right. And routine can also have another name called habit. The
Habit.
way that this is that's just how I am is a lot of song for people. That's just how I am. Well, you're going to need to shift how you are if it's not conducive to your business being more productive. I need to be more, who am I?
Absolutely.
What's my routine? What am I known for? Am I known for being late? Am I known for not being prepared? And what am I known for? Or am I known for, like, she gets that thing done? She's got this and this and this. She's well organized. I can become, like Mark said before, I can become who I want to be.
Right.
I can be the hostess with the mostest. I can do some things, but
But
it's my choice.
It's your choice. And we all have a routine. We all have habits. If you're on this live right now saying, "Well, I need to create my routine. I don't have a routine." You have a routine. You spending your time doing something. It may not be productive, but you already have a natural routine. Now we just need to break ourselves out of that unproductive habit and routine and create a productive routine that works for you, right? That makes you show up happier, that gives you the opportunity to spend time with family or unwind, right? Because even as an entrepreneur, I have to schedule unwinding time. Let's talk about it, Miss Francine. My afternoons.
And you need to know when you are no longer productive for anybody. 5 and 6 o'clock,
Yes.
I'm not doing contracts. I'm not doing math. I, I'm not, because that's not going to be good for you. The outcome is not going to be what I want, because I need to. Uh,
You
what
don't have that in you at that moment. Yeah, you're not at your optimal level, and that's okay. Same thing for me. I have about 3:30. My house gets very busy. Everyone comes home, so I try to schedule engagements like this as early in the morning as possible because I know it's just me. Right?
Right,
Those are things to consider when you're trying to create your routine.
right,
Now, you may not have a routine on a day to day. I know my Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine is a little different than my Tuesday and Thursday because my obligations are different. But you should be able to come up with a pretty consistent morning and evening routine, even if our afternoon and mid afternoon items change a little bit. Okay.
right, right,
I
right,
know some folks that are like, oh, I can't create a routine. It's impossible. Every day's different. That means we have way too much going on then. We should be able to confine it a little bit. And it doesn't
right,
matter what we're doing.
right, right, right. Um, there's the wind down. You started talking about winding down, and and part of the wind down is exactly that. Stop doing stuff. To put the computer away. Stop working. Pencils down. What is it? Turn papers over. Pencils down, and go play.
Yep.
Take a walk, go play, go to dinner. There was this real estate agent. I called him, and it was like 5:45. Well, I'm at dinner. I was like, oh, well, I need to take a page from your book and not be doing stuff.
Yes.
And
Anytime I'm in a room with other entrepreneurs, I'm always assessing what they're doing, like
right,
how they are taking advantage of their time or even just the opportunity at hand. I'm always learning. But yes, stop what you're doing, folks. Stop it. For me, Miss Francine, believe it or not, after a certain time, I will completely take out my charger because right now my computer's charged. I'll take out my computer charger, and that means at about 4. And by the time because I'm working pretty hard, by the time it goes dead, that's my sign. Oh, day's over.
oh, that is good.
Yes, because I will just keep on and keep on. So you have to know yourself. For me, I'm a task oriented person. So if the task is not done, I'm not done. But let's just say we have a larger task. For me, I will say, okay, I'm giving myself 2 more hours. I'm shutting it down at 6. I know that if I have a complete charge and I remove my computer charger, then in about 2 or 3 hours, it will naturally go dead. And that's my reminder to say, okay, we're done.
That's
We're
really
done.
good. And if you can't do it by willpower, let the equipment do it for you.
Yep.
Unplug. And that's what I do for when I want to do something, and I want to go play, go do something, and I don't want to be disturbed. Sometimes do not disturb does not work because something slips in. But you put that thing in airplane, put it in airplane mode, nothing is coming through. You don't get a hint of anything, but you're just in the moment that you want to be in. And winding down, you may need to put something in airplane mode so that you are not triggered by something from work or something happening. It'll be okay tomorrow.
Yes. And use the tools and resources that you already have at your fingertips. I leverage the health app on iPhone, and that allows me to pre-schedule the time that I go to sleep. It also allows me, it tells me the duration of time that I'm sleeping. I try to stay within 6 to 7 hours. And then it also will remind me about 9, 10 o'clock before that 8 hour starting point. It'll say, hey, it's time to wind down. You have an hour to wind down. You should be asleep by 10. And I love it because it's a reminder. I think it automatically puts your phone on a mode.
Yes, it'll pop up with the focus, and it'll put bedtime on there. And
Yeah.
you almost and on my watch it shows up. And I went to go try to look at something on my watch, and it made me. I'd have to turn the crown on the watch to get out of the bedtime mode because it would lock it where you can't see. I was like, wait a minute, I need to check.
Yeah.
Like, you're in bedtime mode.
Oh my. But yes, no, that makes sense. Whatever you guys have to do, I mean, you have to think about it. It's hard breaking a habit. What do they say? 30 days to break? Is it 22 days?
63.
Is it 63 now? Okay,
Well,
habits together.
because because so you can start breaking a habit, but you need to replace it with a
I
different.
was just about to say that.
And so it's going
Exactly.
to take 63 days to get that new one where you
Right.
break one and get the other one established. It's going to be about 63 days.
Okay. So Miss Francine, that's why I like Miss Francine. She got the full cycle. We only hear about the 22, the first break moment, right? Miss Francine said no, it's 63 to replace to do the full transition. So I love that. The reason why I mentioned it is because I just want to be very honest. It's hard breaking bad habits, especially if you've been doing them for very long. You don't know nothing different, nothing other, right? You don't know what you don't know. But once you have gotten into conversations like this or met with someone like myself or Miss Francine, and you said, okay, it's time for me to get serious. Then at that point, you have now made a shift. You've made a decision. But we all know that just because we make a decision, sometimes our body and our heart don't always go, it doesn't always align the way we want it to.
Right.
So do things like using your health app to schedule the time that you should be asleep, setting a 6 minute timer to have a relaxed moment, maybe unplugging and not charging your laptop so it can shut down and you know it's time to end the day, right? Whatever you need to do to remind yourself throughout the day, okay, it's time for me to reset. Okay, it's time for me to wake up. Okay, it's gym time. I used to have literally alerts. It's gym time, it's lunchtime, it's it's unwind time, it's pray time. And it wasn't until I naturally would do these things on my own that I stopped using the alarms. So that's okay. It's like having training wheels on a bicycle, right? Use those training wheels. You on your way. You'll get it eventually on your own. But just know it's okay to pre-parent yourself. It's okay to say, okay, I'm in transition of creating a routine that I want.
Right. Dr. Tachi says that's an excellent method. And then Mark says success is a product of conditioning, aligning thoughts, words, and action with a clear vision. And if you know who you want to be, you know you want to be that capable, productive entrepreneur, micro owner, small business owner that's making um, cash and making things happen and is experienced success. Well, then you know you're gonna have to do some things to get there. Your thoughts gonna have, what did Mark say? Your thoughts are gonna have to align up. Your words, your actions, everything is going to need to line up, which means your routine is going to need to line up with who you say you are.
Yeah. And that's not hard. I mean, to someone, if you heard that and said, "Ooh, I got to do all that," then you're not ready. You haven't made that mental shift, and that's okay. Well, it's not okay, but you'll get there. Hopefully, I'm gonna pray for you. But if you heard Miss Francine just say that, and you said, "Okay, I could do that," then that means we are already in the right. We're in the right on the right path. Okay, folks. So it's all about mindset. That's the first thing. You could do anything that we say, that we're talking about here. I think sometimes you hear these things and you say, "Oh, that just seems like a lie. Like I got too much going on. I don't know." But you're giving up before you even started. And that's not okay. And you deserve more.
You really do. So today's conversation is all about routines for success, and then making sure that it covers all of your success, your self-care, your personal time. All of that needs to come into play. Your fun time. We keep talking about that. We need to have goals for fun. You need
Yeah.
to do something every week for fun, not just work, 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 and more work. You need to have some fun. I was
But
watching something on TV, and these people, they take siestas. Oh, they're not doing work. They're Oh, let's eat. Let's have a meal. Let's go do something. I'm like, we need to get the project finished, but they're not so gun ho focused on work like we tend to be here in this country.
And to be honest, Miss Francine, we could talk about this in the next week's topic, but this is where I struggle the most as an entrepreneur. You know, some people may struggle in getting going. I struggle in turning it off. Like I really do, because you just feel like you're not accomplished unless this, and this is done for the day, right? And that's just
Right.
not giving yourself grace, and that's not okay. It will get done, honey. Okay,
It
expect
will.
that to-do list. It will get done. So finding more time for family time, to make dinner, not to go cook and go find some dinner, but make it, cook it, right? Relax, watch a movie. That my evening time is something that I'm working on mastering.
Right. And taking a break and not being take the cape off, it's like, okay, we need to hang the cape up. We don't need it, take it off. And having some fun. Your family will appreciate it. Your friends will appreciate it. Oh, what we're doing today? Oh, okay, cool. Let's go do that.
Absolutely. And you'll appreciate it.
Right. So we want to thank you for tuning in for today's coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. And reach out and follow one another here. We got Mark, who's his podcast is the 4 minute mark. I love it because it's short, sweet, to the point, and it's mind over matter. Oh, wait, you probably need to go listen to that podcast so that you can reset your routine if you need to. Just saying. And putting podcasting and learning was part of your routine. Find it and don't have 15 podcasts trying to listen to all of them.
Right. Don't do that.
Get a couple that fit in there so you're not confused. Oh, wait, what? Just get a couple and a few. Yeah. So, Mark, thank you so much for that. Dr. Tachi, Indie Soup Media, the Monday slots are coming up at 6:00, the prime time. And Logic Pro, tell us about what's Logic Pro got going on.
Oh, yes. So I just put in here, schedule your free discovery call. So if you did not have an opportunity to attend the season 52 networking luncheon, you missed out, but that's okay. You know, at Biz Chicks, they always keep the resources close. And so I wanted to provide a free offering specifically for this community. If you're a business owner, schedule your free discovery call. So let's sit down for 30 minutes and discuss your brand identity, how you can scale and automate your business better, and let's figure out a routine and process to work for you, okay?
Right. And this link will be in the community, on the community. I'm going to start using that community page on YouTube. There is, and so that we will be putting that in that page so that you can have access to it. We just want to say thank you. You could have been anywhere else this morning, could have been spending your Monday, but you decided to hang out with us. We are so, so grateful. And we look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow. TJ will be on, Terry Johnson Online, all the way from New York City. We're going to be talking marketing, what are her marketing talks. Same time, same channel, 8 a.m. Wednesday, Coach Karen is coming in with her money mindsets. Thursday is happy, healthy habits. And then with Robin Shimizu, who just had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Robin.
Happy birthday, Robin.
And then Friday, the Tech Divas is back in the house. We're going to be talking tech, media, social media happening in the news this week. So got lots of things coming up. We want to say thank you again. Looking forward to the next time. Remember, we're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustles. Thank you, Mark. Have a wonderful, great rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.